The Galactic Council had deemed humanity too primitive for full membership. Their biology was fragile, their technology derivative, and their culture chaotic at best. But Ambassador Elena Chen didn't care about their condescension. She had a mission: secure Earth's trading rights, and she would accomplish it with nothing more than a smile and the contents of her diplomatic bag. The Catharan Empire, masters of 17 star systems, had sent their finest negotiator, Ambassador Zixthor, to finalize what they assumed would be Earth's inevitable surrender of mineral rights. The blue-scaled reptilian had crushed negotiations with 12 species in the past cycle alone. His reputation preceded him like a supernova's shockwave. Elena met him in the observation lounge of Station Kepler 442, where Earth's small delegation had set up temporary headquarters. Her partner, Adam Morrison, former Marine turned diplomatic security, stood behind her like a wall of controlled violence wrapped in a tailored suit. Ambassador Chen, Zixthor's translator, rendered his hisses into perfect Mandarin, then English. "I trust you have reviewed our terms. They are most generous considering your species' limited contributions to galactic society." Elena's smile never wavered. "I have reviewed them, yes. Generous is one interpretation." She gestured to the table she'd prepared. "But before we discuss business, Ambassador, I believe in proper hospitality. My people have a tradition. We seal important negotiations with a drink." Zixthor's throat sac inflated with what the translator interpreted as amusement. "How quaint, very well. Catharans pride themselves on tolerance. We shall indulge your primitive custom." What Zixthor didn't know, what none of the Galactic Council knew, was that humans were the product of a death world. Earth, with its volatile weather, diverse toxins, and competitive evolution, had forged a species with livers that could process substances that would kill most galactic citizens outright. Elena produced a bottle of clear liquid. "This is vodka, a traditional human beverage. 80 proof. 80 proof? Zixthor's scales rippled confusion. 40% ethanol by volume. Adam clarified, his voice a rumble that made the translator spike with harmonics. Zixthor laughed, a sound like stones grinding. "Ethanol, the industrial solvent? Surely you jest." "No jest, Ambassador." Elena poured 2 glasses with steady hands. "On Earth we drink this socially. For pleasure." The Catharan's confidence didn't waver. His species could metabolize compounds that would dissolve human tissue. Surely this was posturing. He accepted the glass, raised it in mock salute, and drank. The effect was immediate. Zixthor's scales shifted from confident cobalt to alarmed amber. His translator emitted a sound somewhere between a cough and a klaxon. But pride, the universal constant, kept him upright. "Interesting," he managed. "Quite warming." Elena raised her own glass and downed it without flinching. "Shall we discuss the mineral rights now? I believe you wanted 70% of our platinum group metals?" 2 hours later, Zixthor had agreed to terms that would have horrified the Catharan Council. Earth would retain 85% of all mineral rights, gain access to 3 key trade routes, and secure a non-aggression pact that heavily favored human expansion. The Catharan ambassador, scales now a queasy chartreuse, barely noticed as he thumbprinted the agreement with his claw. You are formidable negotiators," he slurred through the translator. "One more for the road?" Elena offered, producing a bottle of Tennessee whiskey. Zixthor's eyes widened in what might have been terror. "Perhaps another time." Word spread through the Galactic Council with the speed of quantum entanglement. The humans possessed a biological weapon so insidious, so perfectly designed for diplomatic warfare, that even the mightiest empires reconsidered their approach to Earth. The Vrelian Confederacy, confident in their superior metabolic rates, sent Ambassador Quelix to test this human advantage. Adam had greeted him with Mexican tequila complete with salt and lime. The insectoid diplomat had declared it child's play before his first shot of Patron. He'd signed away Vrelian surveillance rights in Earth's solar system by his 3rd, and by his 5th, he was teaching Adam something the translator called the dance of the 17 appendages, while crying about his clutch mother. The crystalline Shivari Empire, beings of pure silicon logic, had assumed their non-carbon biology made them immune. Elena had introduced them to grain alcohol, 95% pure ethanol. Turns out crystalline matrices and alcohol create some very interesting resonance patterns. The Shivari delegates had left singing what their translator insisted were forbidden geometric proofs, and had granted Earth unprecedented access to their quantum communication networks. But the real test came when the Velcran Dominion arrived. The Velcrans were the Council's enforcers, genetically engineered super soldiers from a high-gravity world who processed toxins through redundant organ systems. They'd conquered 40 systems through pure military might. Their war diplomat, a being named Krax who stood 8 feet tall and had 4 hearts, arrived with an armada backing him up. Adam had looked at Elena with something approaching concern. "You sure about this?" She'd simply smiled and produced a bottle that made even Adam nervous. Spiritus rectificovani. 96% alcohol, technically poisonous to unmodified humans in significant quantities. "We're playing for keeps now," she'd said. Krax had laughed at the offering. His people distilled poisons for entertainment. He'd accepted the challenge with the confidence of someone who'd never lost. 6 hours later, after a drinking marathon that became legendary across 17 star systems, Krax the Unconquerable had not only signed a mutual defense pact with Earth, but had also sworn a blood oath of friendship to Adam, taught Elena a Velcran war song, and proposed a cultural exchange program that would send human drink masters to train Velcran warriors in the ways of the sacred fermentation. The drinking session ended, with Krax unconscious on the floor of the observation lounge, Adam only slightly unsteady on his feet, and Elena as composed as when she'd started, though she had allowed herself a small smile. The next morning, as Krax's fleet withdrew, and the Velcran war diplomat nursed what he insisted was a strategic recalibration of his neural matrix, the Galactic Council convened an emergency session. Earth was granted full membership status, along with a reputation that preceded humanity like a shockwave. The Death World drinkers approach with diplomatic immunity and a strong constitution. Ambassador Zixthor, attending the session remotely due to what he claimed was a rare-scale molting, submitted his official report. Humans have weaponized recreational toxin consumption. Recommend immediate trade agreements and strategic alliance. Do not, under any circumstances, challenge them to a friendly drink. Their biology is as terrifying as their diplomatic acumen. Elena received the Council's formal apology and invitation to full membership status while sipping a glass of single malt scotch in her quarters. Adam stood nearby, reviewing the security briefing for their next assignment. Trade negotiations with the Centauri Collective. "Think they'll try to test us too?" he asked. Elena swirled her drink thoughtfully. "They're arthropod-based life forms. Decentralized nervous systems. Could be interesting. What are you thinking?" She smiled, the expression of someone who'd discovered humanity's most unexpected advantage in the galactic arena. "I'm thinking we introduce them to absinthe. Let's see how a distributed consciousness handles a proper hallucinogen." Adam laughed, the sound echoing through the observation deck. "You know they're going to start calling us the most dangerous species in the galaxy." "Let them," Elena replied, raising her glass toward the stars beyond the viewport. "We didn't conquer the galaxy with weapons or technology. We did it the human way, with chemistry, tolerance built over 10,000 years of fermentation, and the universal truth that everyone, no matter what star they're from, thinks they can outdrink a human." She took a sip, savoring the burn. They never learn until it's too late. And across the galaxy, in 100 different languages and communication methods, the word spread. Never challenge a human to a drinking contest. Their diplomats might smile and seem friendly, but behind those smiles lay a weapon millions of years in the making, a liver forged in Earth's unforgiving crucible, and a cultural relationship with alcohol that bordered on the supernatural. The Catharan Council issued an official statement. "Humans are hereby recognized as apex diplomatic predators. All negotiations to be conducted with extreme caution. Refreshments politely declined." Elena read the statement and laughed. Humanity had finally found its place in the stars. Not through war, not through superior technology, but through the simple, devastating fact that humans could drink anyone under the table and negotiate the galaxy's best deals while doing it. Adam raised his own glass of bourbon. "To Earth." "To Earth," Elena echoed. "And to the poor bastards who think they can keep up." Somewhere in the cosmos, another species was preparing to test humanity's reputation. They would learn, as all the others had, that there are some challenges you simply don't issue to a species that evolved drinking fermented fruit juice for fun. The diplomatic corps of Earth had weaponized happy hour, and the galaxy would never be the same.